We got some brushless power under the hood of this monster truck. How's it going, everyone? Greg here with RC Driver, and I've got the new HPI Mini King. It also has dual oil-filled shocks on each corner, a metal driveline, this killer licensed big Kahuna body, and it's definitely gonna heat things up in the mini monster truck world. We're gonna take a look at what's under the hood, hit an indoor track for some action, and we gotta talk about a concern I have. First up, really cool that we have another license offering in the mini monster truck space. Definitely like to see this category grow, and this one is definitely gonna help out. So it's got the big Kahuna licensing, fun haver body on it, and this body is printed underneath with some decal work on the outside. Definitely like the roll cage inside, the light bar up top, and you can see it's got LED lights in the front. So this thing just looks exciting before it's even moving. A little bumper up front, then the wheelie bar in the back, and it's got this wheelie tube actually. So this whole back piece will roll. Fuel tank peeking out, and this body is actually hinged. It's got this little spin clip on the bottom, and this thing is actually kind of a pain, guys. It's really tight. I think there might be a screw underneath that you can loosen up a little bit, but I've been using a tool to actually push it back and forth until I take it apart. And as you can see, it hinges up, definitely lots of support underneath, even has an interior with a driver figure in it. Definitely like the styling. This is what it looks size-wise in comparison to some of the other mini solid axle monster trucks out there. It's probably closest to the Mini LMT. It's got actually, I think, a little bit longer of a wheelbase, but it's got a smaller tire diameter, and it's actually a little bit wider, but this thing looks low slung, looks like it's gonna handle well. Pulled the body off so we could take a look at the chassis, but first up, just wanna show you that inner cage structure here. That's definitely gotta protect the truck when you're doing some backflips and landing on the roof. It's gonna happen, but check out the chassis, guys. This is pretty cool. Twin vertical plate, composite chassis, and actually, one little thing I gotta back up to is a little concern I have here. So the rear of the body actually holds down the battery pack. And my concern is that when you plug this thing in and you drop the body down, pinching these wires possibly, and maybe even crimping the insulation on it. So definitely make sure that when you put this together, the wires are in a proper spot where it's not gonna get pinched. Just a heads up for you. But back to the chassis. Like that they have these aluminum cross braces throughout. Looks like a really solid chassis actually for a composite chassis. They definitely gave this rig some extra flair with all the different colors on it. Gray chassis, orange braces, orange shocks, and then the blue links below. I think it looks pretty cool. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Moving on to the suspension, dual oil-filled shocks on each corner. These look a bit familiar. They're on the Venture 18. It's a pretty good shock. I like it's got adjustable collars on it, and the suspension actually feels pretty good. Nice and light, soft, and then the dual shock is not overpowering each corner. Also has sway bars front and rear, and then you can see the composite links below. And these are actually pretty rigid as well. Trailing arm style, 4-link metal pivot balls, and actually hex hardware throughout, so that's pretty cool. But the suspension setup looks solid as is. I'm actually not upset with these composite links. And I'm guessing if you don't dig the blue, you could go throw in some RIT fabric dye and dye in black if you want to. I bet you this composite would soak it up. Wheels and tires on this truck are pretty interesting. So it's the Treads tire, chevron style. It's got a multi-chevron pattern to it, and look how low profile it is. That's gonna definitely help out in the corners, lessen the sidewall roll. It's actually a pretty firm tire as well. Then it's mounted to this beadlock looking wheel. That's just a painted ring on the outside. And then it's got the hub adapter screwed onto it. Feels like a foam insert on the inside. I'm really interested to see how they perform. Driveline on the truck's pretty impressive. At first glance, I thought they just pulled everything from their Venture 18 because of the look of the transmission. It is a single speed transmission. It does have all metal gears on the inside and ball bearings, but once you leave the transmission is where things get a bit more exciting. It has metal CV shafts down to the front and rear axles. And this is really important on a monster truck with large tires and a powerful brushless system, because these things could rip out. But looks like HPI did it right out of the box and gave us some CVs, and then all metal gears inside the axles themselves. And it's got open differentials, which is key to getting around the corners. Does feel like the grease is pretty light, but you can add oil to these differentials. They have gaskets and seals on the inside. But to step it up even more, besides bearings in the axles, they also have universals up front, aluminum hexes at the wheel. The axle housings on this, I have to say, are really built up. Even the steering knuckles have dual shear to them. They just built the driveline right on this. I think it's gonna hold up. Check out the electronics package. It has a 1.5 kg metal geared servo up front with a servo saver built in, and even these composite links are pretty stiff. I've seen some flexible links on monster trucks before, so this isn't too bad right out of the box. Then to power it, again, we've got a brushless system, guys. This one, although it comes with a 2S battery, it's capable of running up to 3S. 4500 kV brushless motor. There's the speed controller with an XT30 plug on it, and you don't have to worry about finding your own battery pack because it comes with this 2S battery, a plasma 7.4 volt LiPo, 800 milliamps, so that'll give you some decent run time. And then it has the HPI radio system. There's the receiver with up to 6 channels. One of those is obviously powering the LED lights, and then the servo, of course. Here's what else comes in the kit. So you get the TF706 radio system. Actually really like this for a ready to run radio. Up to 6 channels on that. They give you the little thumb steer. Of course, your instruction sheets, box wrench. You're just gonna have to supply some AA's for the radio. And they give you a USB charger to charge up that battery pack. However, I'm just gonna go throw it on one of my high-tech chargers and head out for some fun. Well, RC drivers have to get a little creative with this one. It is a wintry wonderland outside right now, and so I decided to go to Galley Mods over in Baldwin Place, New York. They've got this Mini Z track. I've been here before. It's really awesome. And I just set up some of the Pro Line ramps, and we're just gonna have fun with this thing. And I think it's actually gotta be a pretty good spot to test it. Let's have some fun. All right, so very first time pulling the throttle on this thing. And we've got a lot of power for this small track. Look at this thing, guys. It actually handles really well. It's got some power to pull the wheels up. A little sensitive on the steering, of course. You know what I like about this spot? No shoes on the track, so I get to take my shoes off. Oh yeah, we've got some power out of this thing. Just stand up on the driver's stand, make it official. Definitely got a lot of low end power. Full throttle into the corner. Wow, that was pretty cool. Look at this, guys. So obviously I'm getting a little bounce on the landing there. I mean, it is landing on foam, but it turns really well. I mean, look at this thing, right around the corner. That's where those open diffs really help out. It lifts up that wheel in the berm. Let's do some monster truck stuff now. Let's backflip it. Oh yeah, there we go. A little bounce on the landing of still, I mean, it's landing on foam, guys. Flip it off this one? No, just major launch off of that one. I bet you we could do a serious backflip off of this. Almost a double. This thing just sails off the jumps. Took some of the jumps out because I want to show you guys how well this thing corners. And it's pretty stable through the corners too. That's where those hard tires I think help out. They don't get that sidewall roll that hook it up. Yeah, get a little slide. I mean, that thing corners great. Wheelie. There we go, a little better that way. Can we do a stoppie with it though? Nope, just a lot of brake, initial brake. Yeah, can't get the nose up. Just really got to finesse that throttle to get a wheelie though. Actually, a rolling wheelie seems like it works. Yeah, you could do rolling wheelies, but not from a stop. So obviously my first runs with the truck were rather limited because of the weather conditions outside, but managed to have some fun at the Mini Z track, which was a bit challenging because the track is made out of foam. So once this thing lands, the foam causes a little bit of a bounce, and you know, gathering the truck back up after a crash wasn't the easiest thing to do, so I'm not gonna fault the truck for that, but I think it probably could use a little bit of shock tuning with some heavier oil. And again, you could go change out the oils in the shocks and the differentials, so I really like the tunability of this truck. I think it's built really well. This thing just looks solid. It does awesome backflips, definitely has a lot of steering. It's got the license body, low profile tires. I think HPI did this truck up really well, especially including a brushless system with it. That's what people want nowadays, and they threw one in there for you. Now, my concern with this truck is it was, from what I was told, originally priced around $250, and because of tariffs and distributor pricing and such, we've seen some higher prices out there that I think people are really throwing some harsh criticisms at it because of that higher price. And I don't think that's what HPI intended. There's obviously a lot of stuff going on. And I think, you know, at $250, yeah, they made a killer truck. So if you, I don't know, want to hold out for pricing changes or watch the pricing on it and then get one, I think it's a really worthwhile truck. I think, you know, if you're really into the mini monster truck class, it's a great contender. And I really like that HPI is expanding their offerings. If you haven't seen my NERSA coverage, they've got a ton of RC cars coming out, showing that they're really dedicated to making a full comeback. So I wouldn't count this company out. I give them a little bit of slack. Lots of stuff going on out there, but when it comes down to it, they did make a fun truck that's really well equipped and really durable. If you're into it, I'll have links in the video description below.